Welcome to NextLabs Expert Q&A Series. This series was designed to inform you of relevant cybersecurity topics via expert knowledge.
Welcome back to part 2 of our discussion on the CISO's role in ensuring the safety and security of AI. In part 1, we discussed strategies for building guardrails without stifling innovation and highlighted key resources for managing AI risk. If you missed it, be sure to check it out. Today, we'll explore the critical AI security efforts CISOs should watch closely. Alex Sharpe is back to share where leaders should focus as they navigate AI security challenges. Let's dive right in. So Alex, what security efforts and initiatives related to AI should CISOs be keeping an eye on?
Different working groups and stuff I sit on, we tend to coalesce down to what I would call 4 or 5 areas. Now, how this stuff gets published and printed, what the final form is going to look like is always up for debate. But there's always 4 areas particularly to look for while assessing your risk and managing around it. The first is the service delivery model. And you sit there and go, what? There's basically three groups of service delivery models. You know how with the cloud we have on-prem, we have in the cloud, we have hybrid, we have community clouds, we have all these different types of clouds. AI is no different, right? So on your service delivery model, you could build a model, train it, operate it totally by yourself, right? It's all yours, only yours. You have 100% control of it, right? You have the glory, you have the disaster, you have everything that goes along with it. That's the easiest one for you to manage the risk and mitigate the risk because you own it 100%. The second are the models that are delivered as a service. So ChatGPT and Grammarly are 2 very easy ones to get your head around. I mean, we can mention things like the weather app on your phone or Waze. They are really AI delivered as a service. Whether we think of them that way or not, they are. We really don't have tremendous amount of influence over them. We have some, usually in the form of agreements, user training. We also have selection criteria that we can use. But then we have the last group, which is where AI is embedded in a way that we really can't do much about it. We don't even know what's going on, right? The stuff that the products we've seen from Adobe and Microsoft, like Microsoft Copilot, are where it's embedded, and we don't have a lot of choices. Now, there's a lot of other products that it's also further embedded, where a lot of security tools that are now using AI to handle the defender's dilemma, incorporating AI for automation. Those are all great, different risk profiles. So the first thing to look at is the service delivery model. The second is modality. And you're probably going, what? What's modality? Well, if you think about it for a second, the inputs and the outputs on these models will go in different form. Text, data, voice, audio. Audio and voice are actually different. Images. Some people will say that video and images are the same because video is just a string of images, but there are some nuances. So what modality you're operating in, and the inputs and the outputs don't need to be the same, right? You can give a text input describing an image you want, and an image comes out. So the different modalities have a different risk profile. The third is the use case. I can't underemphasize this. Where does the real risk come from? What's the impact? And what do we do about it? So, for example, the customer service rep that maybe we can convince the tool to give us an airline ticket for $50, that's a different risk than it is for an autonomous weapon system, running around on its own. Vastly different risks. That's why when it comes to like autonomous vehicles, they're still in very limited use because these models, while incredibly sophisticated and well tested, they still more often than we would like go awry. So never forget the use case. And then lastly, this one is often forgotten, but it's one of those things that when you think about, it makes perfect sense. When you assume something will go wrong, what is our ability to mitigate? Do we have any, right? If you're in a situation where you get a bad diagnosis and somebody dies, there's not a lot of mitigation left there, right? You use a customer service tool that gives somebody a ticket for $50 that should have been $300. You can figure out what happened, and worst case, you're out a couple $100 and you've learned from the experience. So always look at your ability to mitigate. The other part is not just the use case, but the mitigation goes back to the service delivery model. If you wholly own your AI model, you've trained it, you own it, it's on your premise, you got everything, that's great. But if you have a delivery model where somebody else is offering it to you as a service, and there is a leakage between your model and you end up training your competitor's model, that could be bad. That can be very bad. Or real world instance, I have had a client and one of their employees actually uploaded intellectual property in a publicly available model. They can't ever get that back. Even they've tried everything they can. They got some reasonable assurances that the company is doing what they're supposed to, but you never really know. And it starts to cloud the issues going further forward. So, think about these things.
Thank you so much for the insightful response. We appreciate you joining us and sharing your expertise. And with that, we come to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned to the next episode where we will have more insights from a new expert.